Hey Dolphins fans! Coming up with the latest Miami Dolphins news for you, let's first talk about a topic that's been making a lot of headlines. But before we dive into today's update, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the latest Miami Dolphins news. As we all know, Tua is on injured reserve and will miss at least the next 4 games. But despite being sidelined, it's great to hear that Tua is doing well and that his spirits are high. Tyreek Hill gave us an encouraging update after practice on Thursday, letting everyone know that Tua is doing great. Hill emphasized that this is bigger than football, it's about Tua's health and well-being, and that's what really matters. Hill said he called Tua the day after the injury and was relieved to hear that he was in good spirits. Tyreek has made it clear that football takes a back seat to someone's life and health, and he's happy to see his quarterback in a positive place mentally. Honestly, this is the kind of news we all needed to hear. It's a reminder that as much as we love this game, the health of the players comes first. Now, for those wondering when Tua might return, there's no exact timetable. He's out for at least 4 games, which means the earliest he could return is Week 8 against the Arizona Cardinals. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Tua still has to go through all 5 stages of the NFL's concussion protocol, and then he has to be mentally ready to get back on the field. He's expressed his desire to return, but as we all know, these things take time, and there's no rush. His health is the priority. In the meantime, it's Skylar Thompson's time to shine. The team is rallying behind him, and head coach Mike McDaniel said he isn't planning on changing the offensive strategy just because Thompson is under center. The good news is that Skylar has been in this system for 3 seasons, so he's familiar with the playbook. Jalen Waddle also chimed in, saying he has full confidence in Thompson to lead the team in Tua's absence. It's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins navigate the next few weeks without Tua. The team will need to find a way to win and keep up the momentum, especially since they face some tough matchups. And while Tua's return is something we're all looking forward to, the focus now has to be on getting him healthy and ready when the time is right. So Dolphins fans, what do you think of Tyreek's update on Tua? How do you feel about Skylar Thompson coming in? Can the team keep the offense rolling without Tua, or do you think we'll see some struggles? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We have some important injury updates ahead of Sunday's matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. First, let's talk about Terron Armstead. The Dolphins' starting left tackle returned to practice on Thursday after sitting out Wednesday due to knee and shoulder issues. While he was a limited participant, Armstead spoke to the media and confidently stated that he will be ready to play on Sunday. That's a huge relief for us, especially considering how critical his presence is to protecting our quarterbacks and keeping the offense running smoothly. You know how much we need him out there to help our offensive line stay solid. On the other hand, wide receiver Grant Dubose, who was limited on Wednesday, did not practice on Thursday due to a shoulder injury. It's always tough to lose a guy with Dubose's potential, but hopefully this is just a precaution and we'll see him back on the field soon. The good news keeps coming for a few other key players. Running back Raheem Mostert, chest, and wide receiver Malik Washington, quadriceps, remained limited in practice, but guard Liam Eichenberg, who has been dealing with a shoulder issue, was a full participant once again. That's what we want to hear. These guys are getting healthy at the right time. In other positive updates, offensive guard Rob Jones, shoulder, linebacker Jaylon Phillips, Achilles, and running back Jeff Wilson Jr., oblique, have all been promoted to full participants after being limited earlier in the week. This is great news because having these guys back to full strength will be crucial against a Seahawks team that won't take us easy. On the Seahawks side, there are a few key injuries to watch as well. Running back Kenneth Walker III missed practice again with an oblique injury, which could be a big blow to Seattle's running attack. However, wide receiver DK Metcalf has returned to full participation despite dealing with a hand injury, so we'll have to keep an eye on him this Sunday. So, Dolphins fans, what do you think of these injury updates? Do you feel confident with Armstead likely playing and key guys like Phillips and Wilson at full strength? And how do you think the Seahawks will handle their own injury challenges, especially with Kenneth Walker missing practice? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's get into the details because we have some important updates on Terron Armstead. After sitting out Wednesday's practice, Armstead returned to the field on Thursday, But here's the twist: along with the shoulder injury he suffered against the Bills last week, he now also has a knee injury. It's not ideal, but the good news is that he was a limited participant, so there's still hope he'll be ready to go on Sunday. Armstead is a crucial piece of our offensive line, and having him healthy will be key, especially against a Seattle defense that can bring pressure. Unfortunately, it wasn't all positive news. Grant Dubose, who was limited in practice on Wednesday, did not participate at all on Thursday because of a shoulder injury. With Dubose out, that leaves the Dolphins thin at wide receiver, especially considering Malik Washington is also dealing with a quadriceps injury and has yet to make his NFL debut. Washington was limited for the second straight day, along with running back Raheem Mostert, who is recovering from a chest injury. With just 3 active wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle and Braxton Berrios, we could see 1, maybe even 2 receivers elevated from the practice squad for this weekend's game. Keep an eye on Eric Ezukanma, who just changed his number to 84, and D. Eskridge, who is a familiar face to Seahawks fans after playing 24 games for them over the past 3 seasons. Both could play a role if Dubose or Washington can't make it on Sunday. Now, let's shift to some good news. Offensive lineman Robert Jones and running back Jeff Wilson Jr. were full participants in Thursday's practice after being limited the day before. They are both working their way back from injuries in last week's game against Buffalo, and it's a great sign that they'll be ready to contribute on Sunday. We also saw Jaylon Phillips return as a full participant, which is a big boost for our defense. And veteran defensive tackle Calais Campbell is back after a day off Wednesday, so the defense is shaping up nicely. On the Seahawks side, there are some significant updates as well. Kenneth Walker III, their starting running back, did not practice for the second straight day due to an oblique injury. It appears Walker could be out Sunday, which would be a big blow to their running game. Meanwhile, former Dolphins linebacker Jerome Baker was limited in practice after missing Wednesday with a hamstring issue. Keep an eye on that situation as well. Seattle has also been dealing with injuries to key players like Uchenna Nwosu, knee, and safety Quan Wallace, shoulder, both of whom did not practice Thursday. But on the bright side for them, DK Metcalf is back to full participation after dealing with a hand injury, so he'll be someone to keep an eye on. So Dolphins fans, how are you feeling about our chances against Seattle with these injury updates? Will Armstead be ready to play, and how much will the depth at wide receiver impact our game plan? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And before you leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the latest Dolphins updates. Fins up!